This is my friend Jenny Avocado's backyard trees, and I want to talk about the story of how she cultivated these beautiful avocado trees since 2018. And here she is, right here.
Well, hello.
Hey. So tell me about the beginning of your story. I know that you were saying that you started off just finding these trees and planting them, right?
Yep. So about 2018, we had a 1/4 acre property where I was getting into gardening on a deeper level with fruit trees, and I started to get intrigued as far as what trees I would be able to grow in my zone, which is 9B in Northern California. And I came across a YouTube video or a few where they talked about how people were actually able to grow avocado trees and other subtropicals in our area up here, contrary to what a lot of people have been saying that it's not possible. So I decided to go on an adventure and get a few trees and try it out in my little microclimate in Santa Rosa. And so I went down for Thanksgiving, got some avocado trees at a place called Green Thumb Nursery in Ventura, I believe, on my drive back. I got a Lamb Haas, I got a Carmen, and I think I also got a Reed avocado. Brought them back. They were huge in 15-gallon planters, pots, and brought them back in the car and proceeded to plant them in raised beds because they like really good drainage. And kind of took care of them, watched them, saw if I could really actually grow avocado trees like some were saying. And that's where the journey started. I found I was able to take care of them and they stayed alive. I also bought a Pinkerton that did not survive, and that started me on my journey.
Yes, and then after that you moved. So Jen actually took these beautiful trees with her on her move. So they were moved, they weren't in the ground, right? They were in pots.
I had some that were still in pots.
Okay.
And because I went and bought more, because once you're on this avocado growing journey, you become addicted and you keep seeing them at nurseries, and you have, like, there's no way you can not buy an avocado tree when you see a really good variety that is going to do well in your area. And so I ended up having several in pots that were portable. So when we did sell that house and move to another area, I ended up bringing them here to the northern Napa area. And it's really hot in the summers and really cold in the winters here.
Right.
And so I knew it was going to be a little more challenging.
And they even have frost here in the winter. So how do you keep them, how do you keep them happy and insulated during the winter season?
You have to kind of baby them at first, because they're really delicate and they're vulnerable to the extreme weather conditions.
Right.
And in the heavy frost, they can have freezer burn and die off. Or in the summertime, they can have sunburn and die back. So you just have to have a lot of shade cloth and frost protection, and find out where in your garden is the little microclimate, like anything that can help give them a leg up is a good thing. Shade protection, frost cloths, the microclimate in your garden. You want like a little cozy nook like I have over there behind my bacon avocado. I kind of snuck my little lamb tree, and it's just perfectly situated there, so it's happy.
Is that why you have the wheelbarrow hill, to give it some shade too?
Yeah, so there's a gem that's in a pot that it can conduct a lot of heat in the black pot, and you don't want to cook the avocado roots in that black pot when it's exposed to the sun, so I just protect it with that wheelbarrow.
That makes sense. So you also started to graft. What year was that you started to graft?
That was last year in 24.
Okay, so how many years between that 2018 to 2024, and that's
6
when
years.
you started?
Yeah, so it took me 6 years to gather enough confidence to try grafting, and it's a little intimidating. It seems like very scientific and very like surgical, but I tried it out. There were many failed attempts, like a lot. But then the first one took, like this one here. This was the first one. This is the lamb Hass avocado variety that I grafted onto my bacon tree.
Yeah.
And
Gosh,
it
so
actually
healthy.
took.
Look at these, they're so big. Nice.
So those that you see, the fruits are actually bacon.
Okay. So you have different varieties on this one tree.
Yeah, so
Okay.
when you graft, you can graft onto an existing mature tree, and that gives you kind of a Frankenstein tree.
Right.
To where you have different varieties.
Right.
And you can graft as many as you want, but like you really have to think about like growth habit. Like some of these new grafted avocados will change the way the tree grows, and so you have to think about what you want the tree to eventually look like.
Okay.
Do you want it to look like a Frankenstein tree? Great.
Yeah.
If so,
Yeah.
like no problem.
And also, so grafting, it speeds up the yield, the production. Otherwise, it would take could be like 20 years before you had a fruit. If you planted from seed, there's that difference.
Do you want to? Yeah. So I think that the time that it takes for an avocado tree to fruit by seedling can be really long. You may be waiting like a decade to find out that you don't even like that avocado because you don't know what you're going to get. Like when you plant a seed, it's a crapshoot. You don't know what kind of fruit you're going to get. Like it's going to be a complete mystery until you get that avocado fruit and taste it. You don't know because they're not true to seed. But when you cut a branch off of a tree and graft that onto another one, that is true to the variety. That remains, like if you cut a lamb Hass branch off of a lamb Hass avocado, graft it onto bacon, then you actually do have a lamb Hass avocado that you're gonna get. But when you plant a seed, you don't know what you're gonna get.
So you have more control if you're grafting.
You have more control. Yeah.
Typically. Sounds like there's so many different varieties too.